What's up, everybody? It's Ariel here, and coming at you with another video for the Yu-Gi-Oh community and such like that, just to give us, like just a little bit of something to talk about. Now, if you've been subscribed to me since June of last year, then you know that my Yu-Gi-Oh 101 videos have been about the new, like all the new reveals and OCG, some TGC exclusives. Like in recent months, like that's what I have dedicated the Yu-Gi-Oh 101 series to, is to to review those type of cards and like just give my honest opinion on them, and things such as that. Now, before I started, with the archetype review series of videos for the Yu-Gi-Oh 101, I had made videos just basically expressing my feelings towards the Yu-Gi-Oh community and things such as that. Now, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since 2002, and I believe that's when it first came to the United States, though I could be wrong, because I wasn't that informative of it. Like, I just started playing it in like late 2002, so that's basically it right there. But yeah, and I followed the game up until now, and I feel like if anybody should be qualified to speak on something that I'm about to speak on, it should be somebody that basically has been there from the beginning and has seen the changes as far as the competitive level, the originality level, and the creativity of the game. And like I said, if anybody's qualified to speak on the things that, well, to speak on the topic that I'm about to speak on, then it should be somebody that's been there, that's seen all the changes up until now. So yesterday I had this idea. I was thinking about, like a lot of the older videos that I did for the Yu-Gi-Oh 101 series, and I was thinking, like, it's like really like three different classes of people in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. And no, I'm not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Ross Slifer, Obelisk, none of that crap. But no, it's three different types of classes in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and I just want to talk about them with you guys, and like just to give your opinions on it. Like, what do you think of this and such? Well, so the main three classes I'm gonna talk about today are: one is the class of people that that just want to have fun with the game. Two are the Netdeckers, and three are the top tier build slash the top tier build and the slash broken loop users in the game. These are the three classes I'm about to discuss with you guys, and I'm gonna give a detailed explanation of what I mean by each of those classes, and like who I am trying to target them towards. And if you agree with me on it, or if there's some other type of people that you feel like like they deserve to get like just have like some type of discussion on, then feel free to comment in the under the video, and maybe I'll do it in a future video. Who knows? But yeah, moving on to the topics. The first class of people I want to talk about are the people who just want to have fun with the game. These people are the ones that I kind of associate myself with, because if you've seen, like I said, like past or like the earlier Yu-Gi-Oh 101 videos that I did, I used to always speak about creativity and originality. That's two of the things that's being lost in the game today, and I used to always emphasize on that in those videos. And the first class I want to talk about are the people that just want to have fun with the game. These are the people that try to learn as much as they can about the game, and they try to make up new strategies and try their best to try to introduce new techniques or like new combos and not try to submit themselves to the, like to the same old worn out abused strategies that you see over and over and over again in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it was a time where pretty much like all you seen was cards like Stardust Dragon. It wasn't like, it was hard to find somebody that didn't use that card. Like, literally, everybody was using Stardust Dragon at one point. Everybody was using what's that card? The Allied Justice Catastor. Everybody was running Trishula. I mean, it was to the point where it was like, dang, is it anything else? Is it anything else to this game besides these cards? Because I can imagine somebody being new to the game. Like, they come in and all they see is people using this, and then all of a sudden, like, they just think, well, dang, if this is all there is to the game, do I really want to play this? Fuck no. Like, I'll head over to Magic the Gathering or something, but that's the first class right there. It's the people that just want to have fun with the game, that want to try to bring something new to the table, that want to be original, want to be creative, and, they just want to have fun and just learn as much as they can and try to introduce new things to the game, like new combos and things of that nature. But then you have people that don't give two shits about creativity or originality, to the point where they let other people do the thinking for them. And this is the second type. This is the second type. The second class of the people I'm gonna elaborate on. These are the Netdeckers. The Netdeckers. These are the people who basically let other people do their thinking for them. Like, they copy the builds and strategies that someone else made, and that's it. Like, they don't try to add anything unique to the build. They don't try to find or form some type of strategies that isn't so obvious. They are completely reliant on that build to help them win a match. And more times than none, it's so much to the point where they don't even care about, trying to learn the card rules. Like, here's an example of what I mean. I think Friday I was on Dueling Network. Either it was like Friday or Saturday. But I was on Dueling Network, and I went to watch me, like, just the duel. And I clicked one of the duels at random, and the duel that I was in, it was the Legend Killer versus, what was that guy name? I think it was Salav. I believe that's what his name, Salav. But yeah, and on the Legend Killer side, he had a face-up attack position, Malefic, Cyber, and Dragon. He had 3 face-down spells of traps, and he had a face-up Necro Valley on his side of the field. And on the Salav's side, he had 1 face-down spell of trap on his back row. He had Inzektor Hornet in his graveyard, and he had just summoned Inzektor Centipede. And what he was going to do is that he was going to activate, Inzektor Centipede's ability, and he was going to get Hornet out of the graveyard, and he was going to attach it to Centipede, send Hornet to the graveyard by its effect, and try to destroy one of the cards on, his opponent's side of the field. Now, when I came in, like, this had just happened. Like, he had just summoned Inzektor Centipede, and, he was arguing with the Legend Killer on, why couldn't he use that effect. And he was, like, literally arguing with the guy. Like, he really didn't understand why he wasn't able to use that effect. And the Legend Killer was telling Salav, all you have to do is look at the card. Necro Valley stops you from using that effect. And And you know, like a lot of people was getting mad at him, and me being a spectator, I didn't understand why he was getting upset when the cards were right there. You know, it's one thing when you don't understand the card rulings, but it's another thing when you're just completely oblivious to the cards that are right there face up on the field, and all you got to do is just move your mouse or your little arrow cursor over it and just read it. You know, Necro Valley, it stops both players from using, well, like the exact wording on Necro Valley is that neither player can remove cards from their graveyard, and neither player can, wait, hold on, what does it say? It say that either players can't, like monsters in either player's graveyard cannot be affected by any other card effects other than their card effects, meaning that any type of card in the graveyard cannot be affected by cards like Monster Reborn, like Soul Release, like Call of the Haunted, things like that. You can't affect the graveyard with other cards. Like you can't affect the cards in the graveyard with other cards. And so that means like no Ronin Totem or anything of that nature. Nothing that affects the cards in the graveyard can be used while Necro Valley is faced up on the field, except for their own effects. And this includes Centipede, trying to attach Inzektor Hornet from the graveyard. And like I said, Salav was arguing with him. And so Salav, he got mad, and he just decided to bring, and he just decided to pull back, like Inzektor Centipede, to his hand, and he just put another monster face down. And, Legend Killer was like, okay, cool. Maybe he didn't understand the rulings or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So now it was, then Salav, he had ended his turn, and then Salav, he drew his card, and then Salav had activated Macrocosmos. He had activated Macrocosmos, and he attacked Salav's face down defense position monster with his Malefic Cyber End Dragon. And Salav had sent it to the graveyard. And then the Legend Killer, like he had pulled it from the graveyard. He had put it in the banish zone. And then Salav was arguing with him again. He was mad at him. He was like, wait a minute, I thought that Necro Valley didn't allow you to affect cards in the graveyard, with cards on the field other than their own. And the Legend Killer was like, well, Macrocosmos doesn't send the cards to the graveyard. Any cards that get destroyed get sent to the bandit zone. And then Salav rage quit. Like he was mad at him, and he just rage quit because he didn't understand the game, like at all. He was using an Inzektor net deck, like the exact same one that everybody was using at one point. That's the one that Salav was using. He didn't try to learn the rulings. He didn't care to try to figure out what was right there in front of his face. He didn't even bother to read it. And these are the people that, like I really don't know what to say about him. Like, how can you be so oblivious to what's right there on the field, and then you argue with the person once they tell you all you got to do is look at the card? But that's the Netdeckers, the people that they don't know the rules. They let other people make builds for them. The other people tell them how the builds work, and then that's all they seem to care about. They don't even care about trying to learn about, the card rulings and all that other stuff. And it's sad to see that it's players in Yu-Gi-Oh, well, like new players for that matter, and even some of the current players that's been in the game for a while, they submit themselves to doing things like that, and then they make themselves look stupid. Like me, myself, I had a situation on Dueling Network where I had attacked this person's face down monster, and that turned out to be a Sangan. And when he sent Sangan into the graveyard, he had tried to activate its effect, and I had activated Divine Wrath. And Divine Wrath, it negates a monster's effect, and then it destroys. And the guy was arguing with me like, you can't activate that because Sangan isn't on the field. Understand something. Divine Wrath negates the monster's effect first, and then if it's on the field when the effect got negated, then it gets destroyed. And I had even showed him the rulings that proved, my point. And he was still mad at the end of the day. So, learn the fucking rules. Now, it's this other group of people that are like the upper echelon, of the Netdeckers. These people are like the upper echelon of the Netdeckers. And these people are in a class by themselves, literally. These are the people that only use top tier builds or the broken loop builds. I mean, these are the people that I've seen more times than none. They treat YuGiOh like their life depended on it, to the point where if they lose, they're gonna act like an asshole, and they're gonna try to call you all types of names and things like that. If they win, oh my God, like they're the best in the world. They don't give a damn. They beat you, la 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 la, yappity yappity, smackety smacky, Charleston Chew, Fifth Avenue. Just all that type of shit. They just act like their life depended on them winning all the time in YuGiOh, and it's like this. YuGiOh is supposed to be a hobby. It's supposed to be something, just to pass the time, something to have fun with. It's only supposed to be a job for the people in Konami that have to worry about printing the cards, making up the effects, drawing the new card designs, and, just handling the business side of the trading card game. YuGiOh has always been about, since the time it got started, it's always been about, players and, people coming together, and, just putting their strategies against each other to see who can out-strategize who. Like who has the luck of the draw on their side, like who can pull, or like who can draw the cards that they need and then use them at the right time in order to capitalize on those crucial moments. It's not about winning all the time and acting like a certified asshole when you do. It's never about that, especially when you win with broken loops. Now, back in 2011, a new archetype was introduced to the game called the wind-ups. And several months after that, and I can't remember the guy's name exactly, and I'm pretty sure anybody who sees this video will tell me in the comments, I hope. But yeah, this guy, he came up with this broken loop with the wind-ups, which basically utilized wind-up Rat, wind-up Hunter, and wind-up Zenmighty. And basically what the idea of the loop was, it basically just emptied out your opponent's hand, like on your first turn. Like at the start of your turn, you just summon, you special summon, using wind up Rat, then you special summon with wind up Hunter, you use Zenmighty's effect, special summon, another wind up, and you use those wind ups that are on the field as fodder for wind up Hunter effect. And wind up Hunter's effect is like it contribute one wind up monster, and then they can randomly pick one card out of their opponent's hand and they can discard it to the graveyard. And what this loop did is that it continuously allowed you to do that until your opponent's hand was just completely empty. So basically when their turn got started, like all they would have was just one card from drawing. And it would just be that unfair. And you had people to win games and act like they just did something incredible, and they expect to gain some type of credibility, within the YuGiOh community. And you know, and these people want pats on their back for winning and things like that. Look, listen, you don't get points for using broken loops. It's one thing when, hold on, let me backtrack. It's like, you don't get no points for using broken loops. Bragging and boasting about, how you won with a build that has a broken loop and gives you such an advantage is like basically, it's like winning a foot race with rocket boots on. You don't get no points for that. You don't get no props for that. It's one thing when you have cards that can counter what your opponent is doing, but it's another thing when it's just flat out cheap. See what I'm saying? And then expect to get acknowledged for winning within the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Like, you should see it in like the chats on Dueling Network. Every time somebody sees like the wind-ups, everybody already figured out. To me, if like me as a duelist, a duelist, or as a player in Yu-Gi-Oh, somebody that plays the game, if I can figure out your entire strategy, like just by the first card that you play, then this game is going to be boring. Pretty much. If I can figure out everything that you're going to do, like before you do it, well, fuck, just call me Maximilian Pegasus, because this thing is going to be so predictable. Literally. I mean, every time you see somebody playing with Inzectors, it's the same thing. They utilize that strategy around Hornet to destroy the cards on their opponent's side of the field, and that's all they do. And that's it. I mean, it's boring when you can figure out your opponent's entire strategy. Like they're not bringing anything new to the table. It's the same worn out crap. They're not trying to make up any new combos. They're not trying to introduce anything new to the game. All they want to do is use the top tier builds and the broken loops that are out there, and then expect to get, props. Now, not everybody cares about that, but then you do have some that honestly look for people to say, oh, hey, well, good job on that duel. You did a great job. And things like that. And you don't get props for winning with a abused, broken loop. Of all things. And, like, I'll be seeing people in, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh chat rooms on different forums, asking, like crackheads looking for a hit. Hey, what's the new, like, the best card for this format? What's the best deck I can make for this format? Well, like, what is it? I need it now. I need the recipe. Give it to me. I mean, like, literally, like, they ask in that type of manner. And it's like they keep on typing it until somebody gives them an answer. And it's like, it's sad to see that in Yu-Gi-Oh, something as much as a hobby has turned into like a life or death situation for these people, that they have to use the best cards and win all the time. And if they lose, somebody cheated. If they win, the other guy is an asshole, the other guy is a loser, and things like that. And it's just sad to see that in any game, for that matter. In any type of competitive game, or any type of game where there is competition, it's like you will always have that one group of assholes that try to make themselves seem like they're better than other people, and then when somebody finally comes and beats them, all of a sudden it was a fluke win. They challenge them again, they get beat again, and then all of a sudden, they have all these negative things to say about the person. But, more times than none, the people that only use those top tier builds and broken loops, they end up being those types of people. I've seen it time and time again. And it's sad to what Yu-Gi-Oh has turned into. And yeah, people are going to do what they want, but I'm speaking only in terms of, like creativity and originality. It's people out there that will try to, bring something new to the table. It's people out there that net deck, that only want to have fun. I know. But from my experience and from the things I've seen, like, these are the three types of people that I've seen come in and out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, it's sad that the game has turned into this ordeal to where if you win, you talk shit. If you lose, you talk shit. And not even in no friendly back and forth, like, not because you're just trying to have fun with it, but they literally treat it like you cheated them, like you beat them out of like $1 million or something. And it's just sad to see what it's turned into. But, that's my take on the three classes or the three types of people in Yu-Gi-Oh! So tell me what you think. Like, obviously, like, if you want to leave a comment, do so below the video, and just like, let me know what you think. If you feel like I was being honest in this video, let me know. Or if you feel like I was doing somebody wrong, tell me in the comments. But like I said, for somebody like myself and others who have been there since 2002 when the game came when the game came to the United States, and who's seen it develop into what it is today, I don't think that you would disagree with me on a lot of the things that I said in this video, because I'm pretty sure that you witnessed it too, more times than none. But yeah, like, I'm gonna be on Dueling Network today. Probably as soon as I get done with this video, I'm gonna be on there trying to make my other builds that I've been thinking of. Like, I've been trying some new things out, some crazy ideas that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull them off or not, but it'll be cool to see if I'm able to do it. So yeah, you guys can find me on Dueling Network. Add me on there if you want to. It's the same name as it is on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, Azariel, Azareal. And yeah, that's it. Yu-Gi-Oh 101, 3 classes. And I'll talk to you guys next time. And if you're on Dueling Network and you want to duel, by all means, hit me up. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Super Bowl.